Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor, and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Sagittarius. If Sagittarius is your solar, lunar, ascendant/rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so our card tonight is the Princess of Discs. One of my favorite cards. Probably because I'm a Virgo. I really like these earthy cards. Okay. And so if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It's free to subscribe. Let's see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. All right. So I'm going to start here. We have, it looks like maybe a child here. And I get this distinct feeling, well, a child and their dog. Look at that. That's very cute. But I do get this kind of distinct feeling of awe and wonder and daydreaming and make-believe and, you know, just kind of out there in the yard or out in the field at school or something like this, looking up into the sky. It feels like it's kind of a blustery day, taking the dog for a walk, running here and there and everywhere. A sense of peace, a sense of, you know, that feeling of it's a little bit of a cooler breeze, but the warm sun is kind of coming down on you, and there's just a vibrance in everything, and kind of a moment of feeling you are in the right place. This is where I belong right now, right here, in this moment. I am fully aware, undisturbed by anything else. And, you know, and I feel probably that this is kind of a nostalgic, maybe a sentimental kind of feeling, remembering back to those kind of carefree days, those days that went on and on and on, and they were full of wonder and minimal responsibility. And so, you know, I also see right here we have a dolphin, and when I see the dolphin, I always relate this to a strong psychic ability. And so I do. I know that you must be somebody who had developed some kind of clairvoyance or maybe mediumship, a developed psychic sense, some kind of prophetic ability, something, right? And that began in these early days. Now, I don't know that you knew it was this, and I think that probably from the outside, people thought you were probably very imaginative, maybe even that you kind of fibbed a little bit, or you came up with these kind of fantastical things, and I think that maybe it was the beginning of really trying to minimize this ability in your, you know, daily life because you were worried about how people would receive your information. And I think that you maybe pushed it down a bit, but also hid these things, made you very careful about what you would say to people, what you do say to people, what you share and who you're willing to share it with. You know, when you are among kindred spirits, you know, that's a different story. But generally, I think that you are not one that goes out of your way to let people know that you are picking up something around them or within them, or, you know, some kind of message or whatever. I think you keep that to yourself. And but I do think that, you know, it's still very potent. It's something that really it is, and it doesn't feel different because you've always had this, right? It's hard to imagine how other people exist without, you know, without sight to see, or their ability to tap into intuition and these streams of consciousness and, you know, ability to perceive. And so, you know, I think it's something that you have grown to just, you know, accept as being part of who you are. But again, I think it's something that you don't necessarily use as a outward identifier. I don't know that you actually share this with a lot of people. Now up here, I'm looking at it. There's a person here who's wearing a dress or some kind of cloak. It looks like kind of a cloak there. Now we have the moon here, and then we have another person down here who is holding something. Maybe it looks to be like maybe a candle or a lamp of some kind. And I can see this kind of, I imagine almost drawing somebody in with your light. And so I wonder if you have a partner or a good friend, somebody very close to you who also is psychically inclined. Maybe this is a spouse or, you know, a beloved one. And I think this is how you found each other. There seems to be this kind of just emanating energy, the light that just kind of pours out of you. And in this often dark world, I feel that you came together, and it almost seems by chance, but I tell you, I don't think so. I don't think this is chance at all. I think that this is a person who you have manifested with, who you've been incarnate with in other lifetimes and other forms. You are tied together in a way that, you know, it probably goes on and on and on. And I think that is a very beloved thing. Now, this could be a parent. It could be, you know, like a spouse or a sibling or best friend. It could even be that this is an animal companion. As we do know, our soulmates do sometimes manifest in our animal companions, our family members there. And so, you know, there is a beloved closeness here, and this absolutely unwavering in my mind here. And I do feel, like, as I'm looking at this, it looks like we have, maybe kind of you can see the ear and the nose. Here's the nose, the legs here and the legs here, and we got a tail, and, almost kind of a nocturnal, maybe like a raccoon or, some kind of, maybe even a possum or something like this. But I do think that you are somebody who is really drawn to living a night lifestyle, right? And whatever that means. I think that you like being up late at night, more so than in the day. This is where you feel yourself. This is where you can let go of that anxiety. You can breathe. I feel like you get very busy in the late hours of the night. And I think a lot of this has to do with you just go undisturbed, right? There aren't, all these different things pulling at our attention like there are during the day. And so I think that you sometimes probably stay up pretty late. Maybe you're not getting enough sleep all the time. But I do think that, this is something that you share with your person. And this is something that also brings you together, is that you both kind of like to dwell in these evening hours. And I feel like it really is just such a nice connection here. And now I see the same person over here. Here we go. And I feel like, okay, so two people, here's a pot, working on something together. So I wonder if you are working together in some kind of magical capacity. I would look at these almost as, this one kind of looks like a little bit of a witch, a little bit of a bird as well. So I wonder if they have a bird as a totem. But then I also see right here, and I see the cat. Okay. And maybe even a kitten. So I think that you really do relate to cats. Maybe you're not a cat person. Listen, if you are a cat person, you're fully in. And if you are not that much of a cat person or not at all, you are just not about cats. There is a middle ground, but not much, right? But I do think that this really speaks to your personality more than anything. I think that you are somebody who is very kind of independent. You're very, very particular about how you like to be treated. You have good boundaries. You also, are playful. You have moments of just absolute playfulness. And then you can shift pretty quickly probably into being kind of like, okay, I'm done. Now I'm just gonna kind of like walk off, and go do something else. I think for the most part, you're pretty good at managing this kind of almost mercurial moods, shifting moods. I don't think that, you are, how should I say, malevolent in your moodiness. I don't think it's like, you're dictating how everybody feels and what they do. But I think that sometimes you have these big feelings, they come up and you kind of, excuse yourself, you go do your own thing, you kind of process through them and reconvene when you're ready. And I think that comes naturally to you. Some of us, like myself, I'm a Virgo, and I've read, this is something that Virgos do, is that when we are upset, everybody knows, like you can feel it in the room, and I try my best to temper that because, I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable when I'm upset, when I'm, frustrated, because dang it, I get frustrated pretty easily. So, I have to kind of learn to be more like Sagittarius. Go take a walk, go watch one of my stories, or, do something that makes me feel productive and distracted and engaged in something else that draws me out of those kind of low or, frustrated, angry, whatever, annoyed moods that I can get into. I feel like this is a pretty good indicator that you're, I mean, a very kind of emotionally mature person. But you do like to have a deep connection, at least with one person, right? Now we all, I think, look for connection in our lives, but you know, I think that I don't think it's like to the point of being you know, codependent, but I think you are an independent being within often some kind of union. It doesn't have to be romantic or like a marriage, but you know, you like when you have a good friend, like that's your person. Like you do everything together, and so you know, I think fairly social and all of that. So I think when you get into these kind of places where the moods are shifting and things, I think, you know, you go and do your thing, you come back, and this is where there is a good opening for doing the work. You know, I think often turning to something that that impassions us and doing that, sharing that with the person that we love, it really is something that can dissolve away a lot of that stressful tension that can build up in the home, right? Or within our friendships and family and whatever it is. I really do. Just keep getting this feeling of being in movement. And now it doesn't have to just be physical, but being in the midst of something, a project, you know, a game, or I keep thinking like playing some kind of like, you know, board game, or I don't, you know, something. Having challenges and working together to figure these things out, and you know, and being able to look at the process, right? And seeing how you are moving forward. And I think that really is so helpful for you. I feel like when you fall out of having things to work on, or you know, going out of your way to make time to have these moments of, oh, we like, you know, play cards, or you know, trivia, or I don't know, go on long walks or hikes, or whatever it is that you like to do. When you fall out of the habit of doing those things and making sure that you're, you know, not only thinking about, hey, I want to do this, but actually doing it, right? That's when it feels like the energies in your life get really kind of stagnant, and it really makes you quite miserable. So I like to see that, yeah, it seems like you are quite a busy bee here. And I feel like in this playful, I can hear kind of laughing and giggling, and, you know, just having a good time together. And I think that feels, you know, it feels like it's a really good place for you. Now, we also have, I'm trying to see, it looks like we have one person here, we have another person here, and I'm seeing this as a tree. Kind of, I almost imagine going out camping, or going for some kind of long, like, walk, or maybe a hike, or, you know, some kind of journey together. And this feeling of being out under the sky, finding a little landmark, a nice tree to make your camp. And hello, little TT. And I'm thinking it's almost kind of, I almost kind of feel like maybe you are somebody who likes to fish, or maybe maybe you like to look at animals, or you're into bird watching, or I don't know, something. It's something along the lines of like a naturalist or hunting, or maybe you are somebody who likes to forage. Prime foraging season right now. It's starting to I was gonna say it's starting to ramp up, which it is ramp season here. So that's my own little silly that I'm gonna I'm gonna have a giggle about later. But yeah, I can see you out there doing something nice. Maybe even going in the backyard and looking at the stars, or some kind of thing. When is the last time you slept outside, underneath the stars? What I can't remember myself. It's been a couple years at least. But there's something to be said for, going out and kind of, even in the daytime, taking a nap in the park, or, safely. But, ow, TT, don't scratch me, mamas. Or, somewhere where out in the backyard again, right? During the day, take a little nap out there. It feels different. It's a different kind of sleep, isn't it? So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe this is one of the connecting shared events that you have going on with your person here. And if that's the case, if you're going to be going camping soon, that sounds marvelous, actually, really. Okay. Okay, don't fall over. Miss TT over here is cleaning herself. Oh, I got a little piece of tea. No, don't bite me. Okay. Let's see. You're gonna fall. Come on. Oh, there you go, girl. All right. So we do again have these, it almost does look like a little tent there, right here. And I keep thinking the desert. These trees and the little hills, they remind me of the desert. And if you don't live near a desert, maybe this is something happening in your dreams. I remember some years ago I was having these visitations in my dream space. And it was an entity I called the Blue Man, because it was a blue person. And kind of humanoid, but not really, kind of more what we would imagine, kind of an alien type figure of some kind. But I would meet with them, and we would decide, oh yeah, let's go for a ride. And I would go in their kind of spacecraft thing, which wasn't really remarkable to me in the dreams. But we would go out to the desert and look at these, it's hard to just kind of almost like if you've ever been to a planetarium where they have these kind of, movies where you sit in a chair and you look at the dome and watch the different, stories of like how the, how the universe was born of the Big Bang or whatever. And it was something like this, but teaching me, about, I can't even begin to explain. It's something about my magical work, right? So and this went on for quite some time, these dreams. And they're dreams, but they're visitations. It didn't feel like a dream. It felt very much like I was off being, taught. I was absolutely receiving, you know, just divinely inspired information. And so I do equate this kind of, these desert landscapes, especially in the evening, especially when we are dwelling there close to the land, the heart of the thing. And I see it looks like the different stations of the moon and the sun. Okay, you're stuck on me. No, I didn't do that. You did that. Don't ground me. You got stuck. I didn't get stuck. All right. I love you. So, also as I move this, it looks like it does look like a camel too, but I'm seeing it as as the tent and as kind of a little ridge here with a cactus on top. So, and being there as the stations of the sun go by and the moon goes through its cycles, and it feels like being out in this expansive place, you know, maybe talking to some kind of guide, you being in a place where your heart is opened and your mind is ready. You are ready for the next thing, the next, you know, building up to that new level of consciousness, of vibration, and you know, and evolving as a being, and everything is there for you. You know, you're doing all the right things, and I believe, you know, there will be quite a breakthrough coming here soon. Can you hear these cats? They're scratching up my moving boxes. Hi. Thankfully moving in a couple days here into the new studios and everything. So anyhow, yeah, I just feel like you are you're in such a special place this year. I think a lot of the signs are having quite a transitional period here in 2024. I feel like a lot of us are turning away from the chaos of the outside world, or at least, you know, what is kind of created for us to consume, to believe that the world is just falling apart. And I think, you know, I think there is an aspect of knowing that, yeah, where there is chaos, there will always be chaos. We live in chaos on a universal level. But everything is always in its right place. And no matter what is happening, and, you know, there are some just terrifying things that go on in the world every single day. But, you know, we find a way to, TT, no. We find a way, right? We find our way through these dark valleys, you know, and that's where that light comes in. You are, you have a shining light, and it pours out of you. And that's why people are drawn to you. And this is why you have found your partner or your friend, or, you know, the relationship you have with your parent or child or whoever this is. You bask in each other's light. And that connection goes on forever. And so such a beautiful thing, right? Such a beautiful and rare. I mean, it is a rare connection. So we have this Indigo Sage affirmation cards deck. These are the air signs. And I'm going to go ahead and we'll flip through. and stop where it feels right. There we go. We have a nice little hill. It kind of almost looks like a desert. And it says, unknown voyage. You are no longer a seeker. You are a discoverer of the new. Yeah, and I think this is the thing, is that you are coming into this next period of time where it clicks into place. And I do have kind of a feeling that it has to do with your psychic abilities and doing something with that. Because it just feels like it's gotten so potent in this period of your life. And, you know, I feel also that there's a confidence there that you just don't need to suppress yourself anymore. And so I think that, you know, in this next period of time, finding a practical application for this ability, you just scared me. You just scared me so much. She just jumped on my shoulder from across the room. Oh my goodness, TT, go on. My room is full of furniture and boxes and stuff. She just made my soul jump out of me. That scared me. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, Sagittarius, I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you I love you, because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It's always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. If you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel so much. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It's free to subscribe. I don't know. Did I repeat that twice? I'm sorry. I'm in my head. I get startled so easily. And apparently I know it's part of like having CPTSD. But yeah, that just made me jump out of my skin right there. So anyways, yes. And if you want to leave a comment, please do. I read them all. They mean the world to me. They absolutely do. So with that, I'll tell you I love you again, and take care of yourself. We're going to talk in a few days. Wish us luck. Me and Dove and Serpent Tarot, we are, praying that everything goes smoothly in this transition into our other studio spaces, and no technical difficulties. Fingers crossed, right? All right. Sagittarius, I love you. Good night, good night, good night.